Hello, my name is Adrian. This is the Pitch Podcast, where I talk about a variety of different topics, ranging from sports to video games. If you guys want me to discuss a specific topic, then you can go ahead and tweet me at AsperAdrian on Twitter. That's AZPERADRIAN, AsperAdrian on Twitter. So, welcome to episode one. Today, I'm going to be talking about soccer, the sport soccer. If you're European, and I don't think Europeans will be listening to English right now, but yeah, football, as they say in Europe and almost everywhere else. But tell me, talking about Champions League, Ballon d'Oro, which is like the best player of the year award, very prestigious award, and just kind of like which teams are going to dominate this year. So the season has already started in all around the world, pretty much every league. Uh, the biggest league in the world, the Premier League, which is in England, getting kicked off already, capped at already, played at least, I think they've played at least like 8 games, probably. Manchester City, Liverpool, and Chelsea right now leading the way in the top, all tied in points. I believe Man City is winning, though, by the goal differential. And but yeah, like I actually predicted Liverpool to win the league this year, and right now they're on actually pretty good form. And the Champions League, they actually did lose quite a bit to Napoli. It was a pretty good game. I heard. I didn't watch it personally, but I heard it was a good game. Other teams in the Champions League also doing pretty well. We got Barcelona, who are dominating right now. We've got Real Madrid. I'm just gonna search up right here the standings and all that. But we got Real Madrid, who are doing very poorly actually this year. They've already lost a game in the Champions League, and they've lost multiple games in La Liga, which is the league they play in back over there in Spain. But Real Madrid, after Ronaldo left, I think it's kind of like they're kind of gonna drift off a little bit and fall off. Just because Ronaldo, obviously one of the best players in the world, side by side with Messi, of course, he really did. I think he really did bring like a leadership to the team, as well as his obviously how good he was, and just kind of like the team was around him. He did score a lot of most of their goals, and he's not really known for his assists, but he did get a couple assists last season. But this season, in the summer, Juventus from Italy bought him for around 100 million pounds, I think it was, or dollars. Pretty sure it's dollars for US. But yeah, it's just kind of crazy how he's now 34, 33. He's now 33 years old, and he hasn't really fallen off. If anything, a lot of people would say that he's actually gotten a lot better, which I can agree. Personally, I personally think Messi is the best player in the world. It's obviously debatable. It's just kind of like personal preference. Messi I just love how he plays. His play style, his dribbling, his movement, his passing. He's just an all around player. He might not be the strongest or the quickest right now, because he is already going to reach. He's already 30, 31. But he's just a great player. He can score goals, he can assist, he can do anything pretty much, on the pitch. Like, you could put him at defense, he'll play defense. He'll try his best. You could put him at mid, he plays fantastic at mid. Of course, and when you put him at wing or striker, he's obviously going to do really good stuff for you if you have him in his team. And same with Ronaldo, to be honest. Like Ronaldo, very hardworking. He worked really hard to get to where he was right now. And, I have respect for him. I used to love Ronaldo, like when he was in Manchester United. But, I like Barcelona. I'm a Barcelona fan. And then I saw Messi, and, it's kind of like, I just kind of thought Messi was really, really good. And not taking away anything from Ronaldo. Ronaldo's, fantastic player. Best probably in world, best in the probably history of soccer. Next to Messi. But Messi, I think, just has that edge on him, and always has. Um, but yeah, Real Madrid. I'm not really sure how they're gonna do this year with Ronaldo. So far, they've shown that they are very vulnerable and they can lose. And it kind of shows like a struggle for their manager, their new manager. I forgot his the name, um, but I believe he coached the Spain team in the World Cup of 2018. Yeah, it's Julian Lopetegui. I don't know how to say that. He's Spanish though. He was actually a former goalkeeper, but he really needs to see what works for his team because obviously they need a superstar. Either Gareth Bale needs to pick it up. Benzema hasn't done too great. He had a good start, but right now he's obviously degraded back to how he always has been for the last, I'd say, 3 years. Ramos probably needs to give a little bit more leadership. Personally, I don't like Ramos, but he is a good captain. I'll give him that. And I think if he gives the team a talk, with the manager, I think they can actually start winning. Modric, of course, having the year of his life, and so yeah, like with Modric, and having like one of his best years. I think once when Real Madrid signed him, he was tipped to be the worst signing of. He was like the considered like the worst signing of the year or something. But obviously, like since then, he's been one of the best midfielders in the world, and this year he absolutely proved that. Took Croatia to the World Cup final. Real Madrid, of course, has won like 3 or 4 Champions League finals already. So he's really, really one to look for to win the Ballon d'Oro, and I think he probably will. It's gonna be like one of the first times since someone else won besides Messi and Ronaldo. Messi and Ronaldo, I think, have been like, well, in the past 10 years, no one else has won it except for them. Each of them both getting 5, respectively, and it's just kind of crazy how, you know, like Ronaldo and Messi are already getting older, and just kind of like it's kind of going to be sad, like when we see them go. And I'm glad to know that I was present during their time period, and I got to watch them, play and do all this crazy stuff. But I think Modric will probably win it because he already won the FIFA Best Player, and I think I'm not sure if Ronaldo or Modric won the Best UEFA Player. Let me search this up real quick. Best Player. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, Modric already won the UEFA Men's Player of the Year award, and he also won the uh, FIFA Best Player of the Year award as well. So that's he's definitely going to be the Ballon d'Oro winner. And also, France Football actually came out with a new trophy. It's a one like lower than the Ballon d'Oro, which is like it's one for uh, youngsters. Actually, it's like I forgot what it's called, to be honest, but it's like for under 21. So we're probably gonna see Mbappe win that. 19 years old, having he's already 19. He's won the World Cup. He scored in the World Cup final. Um, he's already has. I think I saw earlier. He has scored 10 goals for France before the age of 20, which no one else has done, which is phenomenal. He probably is going to be one of the best players for the future. He's already top 10 easily. Um, when I saw Neymar when he was younger, I thought he was going to be really good, but my opinions on Neymar are kind of like I have salty opinions about him because obviously he was a Barcelona player and he went to PSG. Apparently he went to get out of Messi's shadow, but I mean he's kind of in Mbappe's shadow right now because he's doing all right. Honestly, I'll give him that, but yeah, I just think that Neymar at 26 years old already, he's already at his prime, I think. And I think he'll probably be good for a while as well. Just like like Ronaldo. He's already at 33, still going really good though. So I think Mbappe will be one for the future. So on another note, let's see, Champions League. Yeah, of course, the final and who I think will make it. So right now I have the groups right here in front of me. So we have Group A, Group B. We have Group A all the way to Group H. All right. So Group A has Dortmund, Atletico, Club Bruges, and Monaco. Right now, Dortmund and Atletico are on top with both of them winning 2 games already. And I think it's going to be an interesting one. There's a lot of teams that are very good, but there's also a lot of teams that are very underdog, and I think a lot of like underrated. So I'm not sure who is exactly. It's anyone's game at this point in this year's competition. But I think I really have my money on either Barcelona. I think Liverpool could probably make it to the final again. Last year they went to the final. I think like the whole starting 11 have never been to a Champions League final. So it was kind of like amazing for them, as well as the manager Jurgen Klopp, who has been to the Europa League final, which is a tier down from the Champions League. But I don't think he's ever been in the Champions League final, which was also like made him a really noticeable coach and manager for a lot of teams. A lot of people realize that he's actually a really good manager, and he's always been known as a really good manager. But I think last year he really showed how he has brought this Liverpool team to be so dominant and so effective in every game. Obviously, another team, the favorite, one of the favorites is Real Madrid. Of course, they've won the Champions League 3 years in a row now, with pretty comfortable finals. Last year they won pretty. At first, it was kind of like Liverpool was on them, but then of course with the injury of Mo Salah, it just kind of took away the firepower that Liverpool had, and that Real Madrid took that as an opportunity and capitalized on that, and they just scored. And as well as Karius from Liverpool, the goalkeeper, he had an awful game, awful final, and I just think if he was on top of his game, I think that final would have gone completely different because Liverpool were not completely out of the game. They're actually doing really good, and I think they could have done way better if they had Mo Salah and if Karius did not make those dumb mistakes that he did in the final. Another favorite I think can win is Juventus, of course. They have Cristiano Ronaldo now. They've been to the final I think it's three times in the last 4 years or something like that. It's pretty crazy how consistent they have been over the past 5 years. And now they have Cristiano Ronaldo, and when you have Cristiano Ronaldo, of course, you're going to do way better as a team. He's going to score the goals that you need. And I think they can actually, most likely, they could probably go to the final once again. I'm not sure if they can win it, though. Even if they have Cristiano Ronaldo, I think they still have, they're still vulnerable in a lot of places. They're not the best team. I think defensively, they're pretty good. But their midfield is probably the weakest point, maybe. I'm not sure. Obviously, overall, they have a really great team. Definitely Champions League final, like bound, but I don't think they're Champions League final winners, and therefore, I don't think they are gonna win it. But another favorite also is Man City. Won the Premier League last year, and they won it pretty comfortably. A lot of people thought they were gonna do the invincible season, which is what Arsenal did back in 2002, I believe, where they won the Premier League without losing a single game. They either won or tied, of course. But Man City, pretty dominant last year. They didn't do so great in the Champions League as everyone expected, but of course dominated in the Premier League. I believe they won the EFL Cup or the Carabao Cup, I think it's called now. And I think Chelsea won the FA Cup. I'm not sure who. And of course, the most obvious favorite is PSG as well, from France. They're from France. They have probably one of the strongest trios in form right now with Kylian Mbappe, Edison Cavani, and of course Neymar. That front three is always deadly. Of course, Mbappe, who is really, he's really picking up, and like, of course he's 19. Of course, like I said earlier, and he's already a really great player. And then you've got Neymar, who has the ability to do anything. Really, he could dribble, he could assist, he could score. And then you have Edison Cavani, who is also a very clinical finisher, and can give him a ball and he'll score for you. So that front three is really deadly. So I think PSG will have some will be a force to be reckoned with. Is that yeah? But they are currently in third they have won a game and lost the game so far, which is not the greatest start, but I think they will pick it up and they'll probably finish first at the top of the group, with Liverpool in second. Napoli, they've won one and tied one, but I believe I don't think they're going to be strong enough to defeat this Liverpool and PSG side in the group. And let's talk a little bit more about Barcelona as well. Obviously, Barcelona has the greatest player in the world, debatable, of course, with Messi being Messi. Barcelona. Like I said, I'm a Barcelona fan. Have been one for a long time. But I don't know. Just like I don't think we definitely have a chance, of course, to go to the final. Anyone does, but I'm not sure if we can attack it. Like our attack is very good, of course. We still have Messi, Suarez, who hasn't had last year. He didn't have the greatest season, and this year he's off to a slow start as well. But I think he still can do some good stuff for us. We have Ousmane Dembele, 21-year-old, who's actually doing really good this season. Last season he was doing all right, and then obviously he got injured. And we also have Coutinho, who was playing in the Champions League final for the first year for Barcelona, which is a plus because Coutinho is really creative. He can shoot. He has some great shooting abilities, and I just think he brings a lot of firepower to our team overall. And then defensively, Barcelona has been very weak so far, at least in the league. In La Liga, we've actually lost already quite a few times in La Liga already, and it just kind of shows that our defense has not been up to par. And I think in January we need to make some decent signings. We did make one signing as French Lenglet. I don't know how to say his name properly, but he is French and he's young and he's very talented already at a young age. Umtiti, of course, a very good player at a young age still as well, World Cup winner from France. We have Gerard Piqué, who's from Spain, of course, who's already going to be 29, 30 maybe actually, 31. Another player who's already going to be like hitting that level where he is already going to start degrading as a player, and just he's not going to be like necessary for us anymore, which I think which is why I think we should probably bring in a replacement for him, or keep playing Lenglet at center back, so that Umtiti and him can have a great partnership and hold that back line. And then on the left, of course, we got the beast himself, Jordi Alba. Never disappoints every year. He gets so many assists, especially to Messi. One of the best duos, honestly. Like since Neymar left, Jordi Alba and Messi have been really good. Like always assisting him. Even Messi has assisted Jordi Alba before. Jordi Alba is just overall a great player. The only thing that he lacks, of course, is that height, but he's still a great left back, and I think he is good. But I think he's already going to be older as well, so I think we need to get a lot more young, fresh replacements for when these players already start degrading and already going to think about like retiring. And of course, we got right back Sergi Roberto. Very, very versatile player. I love Roberto. He could play anywhere. He could play on the wing. He could play in the middle. If you put him at center back, I'm pretty sure he'll still do the job good. I forgot if it was 2 years ago. Yeah, actually, it was 2 years ago when we were losing to PSG, and then he was a deciding factor that made us win against them and go into the quarterfinals. We didn't win that year, of course, but he was still. It showed that he's very versatile. He could do a lot of things for the team, and I just think he is a great player. But I think he has already hit that point where he can't get better. I mean, of course he can get better, but like, I just don't know. I think we need to get another good replacement. And then Ter Stegen in the goal. I think he should probably. He's doing good. Of course, like I said again, another replacement, not replacement, but a backup. A good backup for him would be good. He's still young, so I don't think we need to worry about Ter Stegen. He's did a fantastic job last year. But let's see. Next topic. What should I talk about next? Let's see. Dortmund. Oh yes, I want to talk about Dortmund because Dortmund is from Germany, of course, but they have been my favorite like team to look at because they build up so many good young players. Like it's actually unbelievable. They have Jadon Sancho, who's from England. He's 18 years old. He's doing really good this season. They have a US American player actually, Christian Pulisic. Very very talented player. I think one for the future of the U.S. He will definitely be a key in helping U.S. Get back to the World Cup and try to go far into the World Cup. But I also think you know like they also have a lot of older players like I forgot his name. When it starts with the W, but they also have Marco Royce, who is not old but has been at the club for so long. He's also very good. Uh, just yeah, they build so many great talents like Dahoun as well. I think he's from Turkey, somewhere on there. Very good player. They built Usman Dembele. Actually, this is where that's the team that Barcelona bought Dembele from, and I think he's really like he's good because of Dortmund right now. Like a lot of his talent is because of Dortmund. Like I think they have great they must have a great training program or something because a lot of the young players when they play, they just get so good by the end of the season. I'm just like, man, I wish a lot of teams had that kind of like the teams I like had that kind of training because like a lot of players really good right there. Um, Also, Atletico Madrid, another team from Spain. They're doing all right so far. They're actually doing terrible in La Liga. Well, terrible for them, I guess. But they're off to a good start in the Champions League. 2 for 2 right now. Griezmann, of course, they have Griezmann from France, World Cup winner. They have Diego Costa from Spain, very clinical finisher came from Chelsea last year, I believe, or technically he came this year. But they signed him last year and they waited until they can actually put him in the team. They also have I think it's Lamar, Thomas Lamar from France as well. They also bought him from Monaco, which is a French team. Really, really good, good signing right there. They have the defense is pretty solid. They have Diego Godin, they have Jimenez, Oblak, of course, in the goal. So I think they're a team to fear, but I don't think they will make it as far into the Champions League as like every year. They had made the finals a couple times and they lost. So they're not really their track record of finals isn't that good. But another team I really actually want to talk about now is Monaco. Monaco, like I just mentioned, a French team who won the league not last year but the year before that. So 2 seasons ago, they won the league, and it was really shocking because PSG have always won the league for like the last 10 years, pretty dominantly. But 2 seasons ago, Monaco won it, and they actually had so many players, like very good players now, or they had good players that are now at different teams. Like they basically made Mbappe, the 19-year-old. They had Lamar, who went to Atletico. They had Fabinho, who went to Liverpool. They had who else? Who else? Who else? I'm trying to think. Who's their strike? Oh, they still have Falcao actually, the Colombian Falcao, pretty legendary. But yeah, it's just kind of surprising how, they sold all their players for so much money, keep in mind, but they haven't invested a lot. I don't think they didn't invest a lot in the summer, and right now they're actually uh in the league. They might have a chance of getting relegated. Like, they're at the relegation zone. Relegated means, like, you you drop down a league. You drop down to a lower tier league. So it's just kind of crazy to see how in two seasons they're already like struggling to win games right now, and they're actually fourth in their Champions League group. They've lost both of their games, and they've conceded 5 and only scored 1, which is pretty astonishing considering how much players they still have, actually, that are pretty decent, and the money that they got from all the players that they had, I guess, isn't enough to, like, they didn't want to invest or something. I don't know, but their squad isn't up to par, and I think they're gonna have a bad season, and it's gonna be a long season for them. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I want to talk about for today, guys. I know it's gonna be a shorter episode, episode 1, but this is just like a test. I just want to see, how I want to run things, how, what kind of good topics I want to talk about. Today was just kind of like a rundown of the teams and how strong they are. Um, in the end, I think I do think Barcelona and PSG will be in the final. To be honest, I think PSG actually have a chance of going to the final. They might have not shown. They might have lost to Liverpool already, but I think they still, if they have Mbappe, Neymar, and Cavani in form, I mean, they'll blow through every team. And so I think they will go, and I think Barcelona are going to go because I think Messi is just really on form as well. He scored a hat trick in his first game. He's just really good right now. So I think Barcelona and PSG are going to go to the final, and uh, probably PSG are going to win that. To be honest, I think Barcelona's defense will not be enough for that firepower of PSG, and in the end, PSG will get the win. But those are my predictions for now. Obviously, they're probably going to change within after 2 more games in the Champions League and just how they're doing in the league. But yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about for today. It's a test, like, podcast, I guess you could say. It's not like, you know, I got interrupted quite a few times, so I had to cut it out. But and I kind of it was a shorter episode, but next episode I'm gonna be talking about something and go more in depth and make it a longer episode. So yeah, thanks you guys for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please be sure to share the podcast and like it, whatever, subscribe to it. I'm gonna put this on iTunes. Actually, I'm gonna try to put this on iTunes. So if you guys would do that, thank you. But yeah, thanks for listening, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.